Hello, and just want to say congratulations on getting access to this video course on how to start your own WordPress membership site. So here's a quick video's overview of what we're going to talk about in this course. So that way you get a bird's eye view of how all the pieces of the puzzle fit together. Now, this is obviously video number 1, and we'll talk about what you need in order to get started after the slide after this. Video number 2, we'll talk about mapping out your membership site funnel. In other words, how do you take that wonderful idea of yours and make it happen? So a lot of people make the mistake of jumping in, trying to figure out the technical aspect, and just getting frustrated, not knowing what the next step is. So that is why we are going to map it out. So we're going to take a little bit of brainstorming, and then we're going to map it out into a flow chart so that you can see what step 1, step 2, step 3, and so forth is, and that way you're not going to get lost. Then in video number 3, we'll talk about which WordPress membership plugin you should use. Now, obviously, we're going to be covering the Woocommerce platform and the Woocommerce memberships extension that will be a plugin on top of Woocommerce. Video number 4, we'll talk about how do you take that plugin, get access to it, install it, and of course getting started by configuring the settings. Video number 5, we'll talk about how you can go about creating different membership levels. So as you know, different membership sites are different. Some have free levels and paid levels, maybe 2, a free and a paid, and some might have a free, a paid, and a premium level. So it doesn't really matter how many levels you want. At the end of the day, we're just going to show you how to create different levels that will give your customers or prospects access to different parts of your website to get them to want to actually upgrade to the higher level. And of course, in video number 6, we'll talk about creating products and of course, pricing your products within the WooCommerce store. In other words, you're going to be able to connect the memberships and into an actual product. So if somebody buys that product, they can get access to that specific membership level. And of course, last but not least, video number 7, we'll talk about testing. How do you go about making sure that you have everything correct, it's going to work, and you've spent all that time and it actually works. All right, so getting started, here's what you're going to need. We assume that you already have a WordPress site created already. So we're not going to go into the detail of how to install your WordPress site. So assuming that you already have that WordPress site created already, you're going to definitely need money to purchase WordPress plugins. Now, the WooCommerce membership plugin is around about $200. Now, that could increase or decrease depending on which way WooCommerce decides to go. Now, I want to say a lot of times WooCommerce will come out with special deals. So sometimes they'll come out with 40% off whenever they do like a big release, or you can see like Black Friday or different special holidays. So just bear that in mind that you can save a lot of money if you keep an eye out. Now, of course, WooCommerce platform, the plugin is free, so you don't have to pay any money for that. Now, you might be thinking, well, are there any free membership plugins out there? Yes, there are, but at the end of the day, we've tested some of those and we found that many of them are just not useful. They don't have the features that you need to scale, to build a long-term business. So in other words, free is not the best way to build your long-term business. So with that said, let's move on to video number 2. Hello and welcome back. This is video number 2, and we're going to take your wonderful idea of your membership site and of course map it out. So I'm going to do a little bit of brainstorming to give you some ideas, especially if you don't know where to start, you don't really have an idea of what your membership site should look like. Or maybe you do, and if that's the case, that's great. So if you do, what I want you to do, of course, is just write down the steps. If you don't, let me give you some ideas. So as you can imagine with a membership site, where I briefly talked about it in the previous video, a lot of times they have different levels. So the free level oftentimes will give people access to content, But if they want access to maybe videos or access to a community, then they have to pay another level. So maybe the free level is down below, and then you have a level on top of that, which is maybe $47 a month, or you could do a one-time fee. Now, bear in mind, if you do a monthly fee, you're going to need to have WooCommerce subscriptions, which is another extension. So to keep it simple, we're just going to do one-time fees. So you could charge someone $197 to get the next level. So maybe the next level is access to a Facebook group, other content, and then maybe you have a level on top of that. Now, obviously, you want to keep it as simple as possible. So what I would recommend that you do is do a free level and then do a paid level on top of that. Let's map that out. So we have a membership site, and I like to put it on the top here just so we can see. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so that it stands out like that. All right. So we're going to put this, and we're going to call this a visitor. So they're not a customer yet. We have to convert them from a visitor or a prospect into a customer. Or in other words, we have to gain their trust. So in order to do that, a lot of times you will have to give them content or something in exchange for their time. So something free, something that is valuable, something normally that they would have to pay money for, but you're going to give that away for free. So free content. So we'll call this free level. Lots of great content. So in terms of WordPress, that could mean maybe 5 to 10 pages worth of really good content. And it doesn't have to be 5 to 10. It doesn't have to be a specific number. Just as long as you give enough value to make them think, wow, you've given me enough value. What do you offer beyond that, right? So we have the visitor here. We send them to the free level, and they're just extremely impressed to the point that they ask the question, which is, what's next, right? And what's next, in this case, is we'll call it the premium level, which in terms of technicalities, it's just the second level above the free level. And this gives people access to all of the content. So all of the pages. So they even get access to the free level. So this level is actually a lot easier to create because all you have to say is give access to pretty much the whole site. So give access to all of the pages. Maybe you have a community. It could be a Facebook group. It could be a community that's built into the WordPress site. And there's many different avenues that you could take. But to simplify things, I would recommend a Facebook group. So that's what's next. All right. Now, we need to figure out what is the price going to be. So maybe before we connect the dots here, let's say that the premium level, and I can put this down here. The price is going to be $197. All right. Now I'm going to make the font a little bit bigger so that you can see. All right, so we'll go not too big, but there we go. Now this tool that I'm using, just to let you know, it's called lucidchart.com. It's Lucid, L-U-C-I-D, chart, which is CHART.com. This tool, it does cost a little bit of money per month. It's not that much, but it's in my opinion, one of the best tools. So what I like about it is we can actually make colors. So let's say that the levels are going to be green. So this level's green and then this level's green, so that I have an idea. So the price is going to be here. And we're going to write create products. So we're going to need to create one product within Woocommerce, which I'll show you how to do in this particular section. So let's see. It's visitor, what's next? So I could actually just change the color for these two. Instead of green, we could just do something like light blue. So that way we have an idea that these are actually connected. So that is pretty much what our mind map is going to look like. So let me explain from start to finish. So we got the visitor, he or she comes to the site. They can then sign up, get access to the free level, lots of great content, whatever pages that you want. Then they're so impressed that they want to know what's next. Then you have a sales page and you say, hey, if you want more content and get access to the community so that you can get help whenever you need it. And then you send them to here. And if they buy that, then they get access to this. So that's essentially what the process is. So now that you know the process, taking that knowledge and taking this information and implementing it into the technical aspect of it is actually going to be a lot easier. Now, some of you might want to get more complex. You might say, well, I want to do 197 and maybe I'll give them access, one-on-one access to me, maybe a coaching level on the third tier. So if you were to do that, obviously you would just copy this and then you would tack it on. So maybe you could have something $197 a month or $97 a month, one-on-one coaching, or $500 a month, one-on-one coaching. Regardless of what it is, it's just the same process. Now, like I said earlier, if you do a subscription, you're going to need to have Woocommerce subscriptions, which I'll talk about in a little bit more depth in the next video. So with that said, let's move on to video number 3. Hello and welcome back. This is video number 3, and we're going to talk about the different WordPress membership plugins that are available to you. So that way you have an idea of the different options that you have. Now, just to be clear, like I said earlier, this video course is going to be surrounding Woocommerce. And the reason being is because Woocommerce, in my opinion, is one of the best e-commerce platforms out there. So we want to make sure that we cover a variety of different people. So you might have physical products, right, with a membership site, or you might have a digital membership site. So we want to make sure that we cover as many different bases as possible. Now with Woocommerce, like I said, the main platform is free, but under extensions, if you go to extensions and you click on all, and you scroll down, you're going to see Woo subscriptions, which you're really only going to need if you charge a monthly fee. Now, if you do what most memberships do, which is charge a one-time fee, then you would simply go with this. So if you click this, you'll get an idea of what it can do for you. Now, in terms of pricing, it's actually very competitive compared to a lot of the other ones that I'm going to show you in just a minute. So you can create different levels. You can see that you can sell and assign memberships. So you can restrict content. You can do a silver membership, a gold membership, and maybe a premium platinum membership. So you can see that you can grant access to specific content, specific posts, different pages, different categories. So now that you know with the free level, you have maybe 5 different pages. If that's the case, then all you have to do is specify which pages right here. So what I recommend that you do is just go down here and make sure that everything that you see here is going to fit your long-term needs. So can you think of it as you're going to be able to expand, you're going to be able to scale this business down the road, months or even years. So as you can see, you can import or export members, which is a great feature to have. You can communicate with your members and much more. So you can go there and just check it out yourself, but you are going to definitely need this plugin right here and the free Woocommerce plugin as well. And we'll show you how to get all that installed. The next one is called MemberPress. That's memberpress.com. So this is another WordPress membership plugin, and it's very feature rich. So it can do just about anything that you want it to do. So just scroll down here to kind of give you an idea. You can see that it can integrate into a variety of different payment gateways like Stripe, like PayPal, and of course different autoresponders such as ConvertKit, MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, and different help desk systems like Help Scout. So you can see all the integrations down here. But if we go over here and click on features, you can get a better idea of the different options that you have. So you can see it's easy to set up. We've got premium community forums. So if you want to have that second level to be maybe a community and you don't want to use Facebook, you want to have everything centralized on your WordPress site, then this would be the way to go. So we've got coupons, and that's another thing with WordPress, you do have a lot of features built in, but with MemberPress, some of these will have a little bit more feature rich. But of course, as you'll see in a minute, you'll have to pay a little bit more money. So we have stability, you can drip content. So in other words, you could, if you have like a series and they have to watch course 1 before they get to course 2, you can drip feed it. So you can drip it like this month and then course 2 with next month and so forth and so on. So just go here and take a look and see if that suits you. Now, if you go to the top here and we go to pricing, you can see that the basic level is about $149. You can use it on one site, which is just enough. You can do PayPal and Stripe, and you get about 10 add-ons. So you want to check out those add-ons and see if they actually fit what you need. The $249 version, you can see it operates on 2 sites. It works with Authorize.net, which is a credit card payment processor. And as you can see, it has different add-ons. And over here, the main difference looks like it has an affiliate program. The third plugin that we recommend is called Paid Memberships Pro. And this one actually is very feature rich. So you can kind of get an idea. You can do unlimited levels. They've got 6 different payment gateways that you can integrate with. Now, they do have a free level, so you might want to check that out yourself as well if you're really on a tight budget and just see if that fits you. But for the most part, what we found is in terms of scalability, you kind of want to find something that really fits you. Because if you start with free and you go here, you start with free and that's just what you need, and then you see yourself expanding, that's totally fine as well. So those are the 3 different WordPress membership plugins that are available to you. With that said, let's move on to the next video.